Introduction. Corruption is a global issue that is prevalent in almost every country. It undermines the rule of law, erodes public trust, and harms the economy and society as a whole. The United Kingdom, UK, has a reputation for having a low level of corruption compared to other countries, but it is not immune to this problem. Corruption in the UK's public services can take various forms, including bribery, nepotism, cronyism, embezzlement, and abuse of power. In this essay, we will discuss how to solve corruption in public services in the UK. 1. Strengthening legal and institutional frameworks. The UK has a robust legal and institutional framework to prevent and combat corruption in public services. The Bribery Act 2010 criminalizes bribery in the public and private sectors, and the Proceeds of Crime Act 2002 provides for the confiscation of assets acquired through corrupt activities. The Independent Office for Police Conduct, IOPC, is responsible for investigating corruption in the police force, and the Independent Commission for Aid Impact, ICAI, monitors the effectiveness and value for money of UK aid. The National Crime Agency, NCA, and Serious Fraud Office, SFO, are responsible for investigating and prosecuting serious and complex cases of corruption and economic crime. To strengthen the legal and institutional framework further, the government could consider several measures. For instance, the UK government could amend the Companies Act 2006 to require companies to report on their anti-corruption policies and activities. This would increase transparency and accountability in the private sector and prevent companies from using opaque structures to conceal corrupt activities. Additionally, the government could establish a centralized register of beneficial ownership of companies, trusts, and other entities to increase transparency and prevent the use of anonymous shell companies to launder money and hide the proceeds of corruption. 2. Promoting transparency and accountability. Transparency and accountability are crucial tools for preventing corruption in public services. The UK has made significant progress in this area, but more can be done. For example, the government could introduce mandatory public procurement registers to increase transparency and prevent corruption in public procurement processes. The government could also require public officials to disclose their assets, income, and conflicts of interest to prevent them from using their positions for personal gain. The government should also strengthen the role of the media and civil society organizations in exposing and reporting on corruption cases. This includes protecting whistleblowers who report corruption, ensuring the independence of the media, and promoting freedom of expression. Additionally, the government could establish a public complaint system for citizens to report corruption in public services, which would increase transparency and accountability. 3. Building a culture of integrity. Promoting a culture of integrity is essential for preventing corruption in public services. The UK has made progress in this area, but more can be done to ensure that public officials act ethically and transparently. The government could introduce mandatory ethics training for all public officials, including elected officials, to ensure that they understand their obligations and responsibilities. The government could also establish codes of conduct for public officials and enforce them strictly to prevent conflicts of interest and unethical behavior. The government could also encourage citizen engagement and participation in decision-making processes to promote transparency and accountability. This includes consulting with citizens and civil society organizations on policy decisions and providing them with access to information on government activities. 4. Strengthening international cooperation. The UK has a significant role to play in promoting international cooperation to combat corruption in public services. The UK government should work with other countries and international organizations to promote good governance and anti-corruption measures. This includes supporting the work of international organizations such as the United Nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund in promoting good governance and transparency in developing countries. The UK government could also support the establishment of international conventions and treaties to prevent and combat corruption.